Hi there, how you doing? So my name is Henry, and I'm gonna be recording a video blog series or a vlog, in general about myself, about my struggles, about my opinions, about my journey. I wanted to start off and just introduce myself. I'm gonna keep them to about 10 minutes long. I don't want them to be too long, but I'm just gonna introduce myself. So my name is Henry. I'm 29 years old. I am a professor at a university in London teaching game art. Um, so I wanted to make today's vlog episode series, around my general self in terms of what's up with me. So I wanted to talk about ADHD, which is quite a taboo topic. And a lot of people, when you talk about ADHD, tend to think of like children who are hyperactive or, bad parenting and stuff like that. And I wanted to address some of those issues because they're quite stereotypical. So, first of all, I don't like using the term ADHD. I don't like using the term mental health. And I don't like saying it's a disorder. Whenever I talk to someone and I explain I have ADHD, I tell them that I have a neurological indifference, which basically means that my brain is built differently to a neurotypical person, which is true. So I was diagnosed privately when I was 25. 25? I don't even think I was that old. I think I was about 23, 24. So I was diagnosed when I was around 24. Yeah, so it's been about 5 years, if I can do the maths. So yeah, I was diagnosed when I was 24, and it's been a bit of a roller coaster journey for me. Because I was diagnosed privately. The professor who diagnosed me was the founder of the NHS assessment team, so he knows what he's talking about. And I did quite a lot of research with him over the period, and what I came to realize was that ADHD isn't bad parenting. It's not children who act out. ADHD is a neurological difference. I don't want to say disorder because I don't see it that way. It's a neurological indifference. And basically, if you were to look at ADHD, the way that I could explain it easily is if we were still living 3,000 years ago, or even like a million years ago, where we were primal beings, hunting, gathering, and just trying to survive. ADHD would be the warriors, would be the leaders of those people. So as society progressed and we started becoming what we are now, where we have towns, cities, villages, we have communities together and multiple people, our brains changed. Our brains developed so that we could fit in to society, so that there were logical decisions. The easiest way I can say it is, you have the front part of your brain here, the primal lobe, which is the most developed part of your brain, like the most recently developed part of your brain, over evolution. And that part of the brain basically makes you logicalize and rationalize. So it will make you think, should I do this thing? What are the consequences? Is it acceptable? Will society see me differently? Or will they not? Whereas my brain, that is there, but it doesn't function properly. So I don't think, should I do this? What are the consequences? Will society see me differently? What I think is, shit, it's done. And then I think, what are the consequences? Blah, blah, blah. Or I just go straight to regret. So I don't have that part of my brain that society has that says, right, let's not do this. Let's think about this. And then we can decide. I just go straight into that instinct. So if it's a scenario where it's fight or flight, your brain has, I think it's like 1.3 seconds or milliseconds where it will decide, do you want to fight or do you want to flight? And that part doesn't work. So my brain is always constantly either fight or flight. There's no decision of shall we do this or shall we do that. It's straight at it. And then afterwards, once that's happened, I will get an adrenaline surge. And that adrenaline surge will release dopamine into my brain, which will then activate that part. My primal lobe will start working because it's receiving the neurotransmitters that it wasn't receiving before because they aren't there by default. And then my brain's like, oh shit, what have I done? I shouldn't have done that. And then you start feeling shit and bad. So that's the point that I wanted to get across to you, is that, ADHD is completely different. And it's not something that a child can develop, Not every child has it. It's through research, it is scientifically proven that there is a duplicate strand in your DNA of an ADHD person. It's hereditary. It is passed down from generation to generation. And this is where it gets quite complicated and hard. Because basically, with ADHD, there's always other factors. You don't just have ADHD. You will have ASD, or you will have traces. So I have ADHD, autistic tendencies. So I'm on the spectrum, but not fully autistic. I also have oppositional defiance disorder, which basically means that if I'm told to do something, my brain will hear it the opposite way and do the opposite of what I've been told to do. Don't touch that button. Oh, I'm going to touch that button because you told me to touch that button. That's what my brain thinks that I've been told. Even though they said don't touch that button, my brain hears that as touch that button. So oppositional defiance disorder. Then I also have RSD, which I don't know what that is. Rejection, something. My wife will explain it easier. But basically what happens is I'm constantly seeking approval. I'm constantly have a fear of rejection. Pardon me. Probably why I've recorded this video like 4 times now as well. So I've let this RSD as well. And there's loads of other things. So you would never just have ADHD. So it gets quite complicated. And ADHD is different in every single person. It's never the same. So the reason why I like to say that I'm hyperkinetic and not that I have ADHD is because I don't like using the terms mental health, and I don't like using attention deficit hyperactive disorder, because to me it's not, and that is not what ADHD is. It is hyperkinetic, and you can Google hyperkinetic and it will tell you that hyperkinetic is a form of ADHD. So I have severe ADHD. If I want to go exactly, it is ADHD ICD-10 subtype 314.01, which is hyperkinetic, which is ADHD combined, hyperactive, inattentive, and impulsive. And again, when you think of ADHD, you will think, hyperactive child running about, bouncing off the walls. This is why the term hyperkinetic is better, because it's not about me being hyperactive. It's about my brain being hyperactive. It's about me thinking of 1,000 things a second. It's about my brain not being able to calm down and shut off and just constantly want to talk. And the reason why I'll interrupt people is because they will say something to me, and then my brain will just remember something which I forgot, and I have to say it before I forget. And believe it or not, I am medicated right now. I take 40 milligrams of Elvanese, which is lisdexamphetamine. I think my medication needs to be balanced, and you could probably agree. But I've taken, up to 74 milligrams of Concerta before and had some really horrible side effects. So I think the reason I want to do this video is because I want a lot more research to be done on ADHD. I want people to understand that it's not a mental illness. It is a difference. People need to accept individuals with ADHD. If you were to look through history, Galileo had, if these people were alive today, they 1000% guarantee you that they would have ADHD. And the professor who diagnosed me would agree. And the reason that he told me he would agree is because, through Galileo's diary, the way that he writes, the way that he speaks and his thoughts would be insinuated that he had ADHD. So Galileo, he was the guy who discovered the solar system. That there was sun, the stars, the moon. He discovered that they all move and rotate around the Earth, and because he thought differently, and he dared to think outside the box like an ADHD person does, he was killed because of that reason. And and then you have the Wright brothers who invented the airplane and flying, and then you have Einstein, Nikolai Tesla, Will.i.am, Bill Gates, Justin Timberlake, Richard Branson. All these people are innovative, creative, and they're leaders. They all have ADHD as well. But that's kind of what I want to discuss, and I want to get your opinion as well. What do you think about ADHD? How do you feel? Do you have ADHD? Do you like the term mental illness? Do you even agree that ADHD exists, or are you one of these people that think that it doesn't? Do you think that ADHD can be cured as well? I think I will do another video explaining how I think ADHD can be helped and managed. But I want to get your opinions and your thoughts so that I can do more videos as well. And they won't all be about this as well. So I want to talk about like my process that I'm going through at the moment for growing my facial hair and my hair. I will do that in another video though. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully you made it the whole way through. I'll try and make them easier in the future. Leave your comments below and then I will answer them in the next video. Bye.